future.
Welcome back to another episode of TAAP. I'm Chad.
I'm Michael.
And we're going to do some more What Would You Do? I think these worked out pretty well. It kind of gave everyone an insight into how we think and what we would do in different situations.
I like these. These are pretty good too.
So,
it's cold, so we have reaction videos, and what would we do? We have to run scenarios until we can get outside and there's no snow on the ground.
For those of you not in the Omaha area, we had actual air temperature of negative 25 a few days ago. So
yeah.
I don't mind the cold as much as you do, but I ain't going out in that shit.
I'm fine. I was getting ready to go out. The cold weather didn't bother me, but the Glock said, no, it's too cold for me. And I listened to my piece. It said it's too cold, and I said, okay, we'll stay home.
All right. So,
anybody that knows me knows I'm full of shit there.
Yes. To Michael, it's about 50 degrees is when it starts getting too cold.
No, 60.
Oh, 60.
60, yeah. I don't, if it's, cold is cold, no.
That temperature, I'm starting to think about, maybe I should wear something other than shorts. Michael has a parka.
Yeah. All right, so what are we going over? You're going first, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go first this time. So here is your situation.
All right.
You're out in the store. You're out in the mall, because we frequent the mall a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Mall, store, whatever it happens to be.
Okay.
And you're doing your shopping, and you hear what sounds like a young girl screaming very loudly, "No, I'm not going with you. You're not my mom." You naturally turn to see what's going on. She's within eyesight. And you see a woman tugging on the girl's arm, telling her, "Come on, we're going." The woman is middle-aged. The girl appears to probably be between 5 and 10.
Wow.
What do you do?
Oh, this one's a loaded one. There's so I'm not just gonna sit by and not let someone possibly get kidnapped. So the first thing I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna probably say something to the woman. I'm gonna say, "Hey, she's saying you're not the mother. I'm recording. I'll pull out my cell phone. I'm gonna get your license plate. We need to call the police if that's what she's saying."
You're in the store, so license plate might be a little bit difficult unless you're following her.
She's inside the school?
You're in the store.
Yeah, I would start telling people, "Hey, it's a possible kidnapping. I don't know, call the police. Get store security." I would probably draw as much attention as I can. Here's my problem. It very well could be this is the stepmom and the kid's throwing a fit. So it could be a step parent. "You're not my real mom," and that's what she is trying to say.
Could be that, mommy's not buying her the candy she wants, so she decided she's going to throw a fit. So let's take this.
What if this is the aunt?
Right.
What if, let's say your sister takes your girls out, and she didn't get the girls didn't get what they want, so they threw a fit, and they're like, and they're like, "You're not my mom," and they threw a fit.
Yeah.
Well,
now you know my sister and you know my girls. That's probably not happening. Is girl saying, "Can I get this?" And my sister like, "Okay."
That's.
But
I get it, but the
I get what you're
scenario
saying.
still stands.
So take this a step further. You pull out your phone, you start recording, telling her, "Hey, let's slow down here a little bit and find out what's going on."
Right.
And she looks at you and says, "Just mind your own business. Jenny's having one of her fits and spells. Everything's fine. We just need to leave."
No, we're going to wait for the police.
And she starts physically pulling Jenny towards the exit.
This is where, for me to be comfortable, I would probably already be on 911, and I would flat out ask the dispatcher, "Should I stop? Is it okay if I stop her? If she gets kidnapped, is this on you?" And I think this is a situation under everything that if you stop this person from it happening, I don't think I think this would fall under the Good Citizen Act.
I think in this situation, anyone that stopped this woman would be justified in doing so.
Correct.
Stopped her and detaining her. Now, I'm not saying pull out your gun and put two in her to stop her, but I could even see going up and physically detaining her if you had to. I'm not letting her out that door and into the parking lot.
I agree.
I will move so that I'm blocking her path, and if I have to physically put hands on her to detain her, I will do that.
Yeah.
My concern right here is like what you said. Is it a potential kidnapping?
Right.
And an extra 5-10 minutes to make sure isn't going to hurt anyone in a situation like this.
Yeah. And even the threat of, you say, I can't leave without the police coming out here and confirming everybody's identity. If you're the person that you have a problem with that, then you're part of the problem. Because kids don't naturally say, you're not so-and-so, help, and scream like that.
Right.
That's not normal. Does it happen? Yes. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But I'm saying when that starts to happen, then, you go home and bust their ass. If you're their parent and the cops come and they had to go through and you did all this because the kid did this, by all means, by all means, I think maybe that kid's going to get an ass.
Right. And here's...
They might want to go to the police at that point.
Here's my concern with this, and you and I both go down these dark rabbit holes, and things like this happen.
Yeah.
And, anymore, everyone is just, mind my own business, mind my own business, mind my own business. Or, well, let me pull out my phone and record it so I can throw it up somewhere and make money.
The problem is there's no middle ground anymore.
Right.
You're either extremely one way or extremely other. So people will look at this and either... I could see people in this scenario, people on one side say, it's none of my business, it's not my kid that they're kidnapping, which is wrong. And then there's people on the other side that says, oh, this is a kidnapping, and I'm going to, tackle this person and beat the hell out of him because this kid said something. No, both extremes are wrong. There's a middle ground, and that's what I want to emphasize is the middle ground.
And here's where, to me... If this is a woman with bad intent, like I said, we've gone down those dark rabbit holes, and she's out there looking for a little kid to grab to sell into some sort of slavery, sex slavery, get it hooked on drugs, or do you even just sell to someone that you're their slave now for whatever they want, clean their house, whatever. That person is probably going to have something that's going to alter what they look like. So your video isn't necessarily going to be the best thing out there.
Right.
That's where. And like I said, I would stop them, and if I had to physically detain them, I would. And, consequences be damned. I'm going to look out for that child, and if it is just Jenny's having a fit, all right, well, I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure Jenny was safe. And,
right.
And if you're a decent parent, you're going to appreciate that.
Right. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more to this, too.
Okay.
What if you pulled up the same time they did, you saw them get out of the same car, and you saw them walk in together? Does that change your outcome as they're leaving?
Not necessarily. Just because you've seen stories where maybe someone's been kidnapped for a little bit, and they get that little bit of brainwashing, and this is where I'm supposed to be, but that can snap at any time. And, maybe this kid is smart enough to know, if I do this here in the parking lot right next to the car, she's just going to grab me, throw me back in the car, and take off. Right. So I wait until we're in the store.
Yep. We get in the mall, get in the store, and I throw enough big enough fit,
it'll draw
people
attention
around. Right. So I got to keep my mouth shut to try to get away.
Right. I have to comply until that point where I have an opportunity.
Yeah. Now this is where keys could come up, and so here's what would kind of change it for me. So if you see her get out of the car and she says, "Yeah, Mom, can I get this?" We'll see how it works when we go through there. If I see some interactions that don't throw up any kind of red flags, and then she starts throwing a fit, and then there's other flags that say, she's just throwing a fit because I wouldn't get her the doll because
Right.
she didn't behave. Well, I remember hearing that conversation as we walked in.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense.
Or if you happen to pass them in the store and you hear a couple of times, no, we're not getting candy, or you're not getting ice cream, or whatever it is.
Right.
Maybe, but I would still be on the cautious side. I would rather err on the safety of that child.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd go as full bore, but I would still probably interject there and just make sure everything is kind of kosher.
Okay.
Like I said, if you're a parent, if you're an aunt, an uncle, someone who is related to small kids, or just someone that looks out for kids,
Right.
I think that you would understand, okay, they're just looking out for Jenny.
Okay. And I could see that, and I would say as a parent, would I be upset at the time? Probably, because now I'm being embarrassed, and
Yeah.
this is a whole big deal.
So, Mikey, you know what to do next time you're out with your dad.
So here's the problem with that. A parent will know. Now, I will tell you if they're dragging out and they're doing this, and I'm like, no, stop. She goes, fine. And as a parent, you're going to look at that kid and they're going to go, just wait till we get home.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to de-escalate me because I'm like, yep, I've said that, parent.
Yeah, there are those things, parent dragging the kid out by their shirt collar and just wait till we get home. I'm going to beat your ass.
Yep. There are certain things that you've said at parents, whether you actually
meant it or actually followed through on it, that's different, but there are certain things in the heat of the moment you may say.
Parents don't always act on what they say, but we have to threaten a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to parent right, you probably said things that you probably shouldn't have said.
Right.
I get it, and you probably never wanted to react to that, but once they get to a certain age, yeah, all right. I like that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I think for most of us it'd be pretty straightforward.
Yep.
But there's also some, I've seen stuff like this. I've been in a store where that's happened.
Right. All right.
So your turn.
So, and I'm stealing this from a video I watched.
Okay.
Okay. So you're in a gas station, right?
Okay.
So you're carrying concealed.
Okay.
You're in line paying for stuff. Some guy, there's a line, so you're standing in line. And if someone notices that you're carrying your firearm,
mm-hmm.
and they try to reach for it.
That's not going to end well.
Well, where does it go?
So, with where I wear mine typically, one of my hands would be covering it and pushing it back down into the holster.
Right.
And I would spin that side away from them, and there's a good chance they may catch an elbow to the face as I spin around.
Yeah.
From there it depends on how they react. If they're still being aggressive, it's going to be on, because you are not taking that firearm off my person.
Okay.
And if it gets to the point where I have to draw that firearm, that'll happen.
Okay.
Because at that point, as far as I'm concerned, you are trying to take my firearm, which turns this into a deadly situation.
Yep, I will agree with that. Now, to twist it a little bit, let's say they don't get your firearm, they notice you have a firearm,
mm-hmm.
you pay for your stuff, and as you're getting ready to walk out the door, that girl pulls out pepper spray, points at you, says, I'm calling the police, you're not leaving because you're carrying a gun.
Okay. I'm not doing anything illegal, so...
So you just stand there and wait for them to call the police, or do you go about on...
I'll look at her and say, well, if you pepper... that's fine, I'm not doing anything illegal. If you pepper spray me, that is assault. So, yeah, we can call the police after you do that, but okay. I'm leaving.
Would you try to leave, or would you...
Yeah.
Okay. And if she pepper sprays you?
If she pepper sprays me, I'm going to have her charged with assault.
Okay. And that's a felony, by the way.
Yes. That is felonious assault.
Yeah, that's a felony.
That's not a here's your ticket.
Yep. So that in that situation, I agree with you 100%. So just because someone pulls out pepper spray and says you're stuck here, um,
They don't have any legal right to attempt to detain you.
right. So put yourself in that situation that you said, because I want to go into the pepper spray, because pepper spray is a good self-defense weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So what if it was one of your kids acting up, you're trying to drag them out, and they're saying you're not my dad or something like that, and then woman blocks the door, and well, you have it, you're supposed to be somewhere, so you don't really have time to wait. This is your kid. You're not doing anything wrong. Some lady pulls out pepper spray and says, don't leave or I'm going to pepper spray you.
Okay, here, you want them, they're your problem now. That'll change their mind.
That's how you get, that's how, yeah. That's a, yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that with my girls. Okay, you know what? Fine. You want to stand there with pepper spray. One, you need to put that away. Fine, I'll stay here and we can wait for the police.
Is that assault?
Trying to think of statutes here in Omaha, and I think that is technically third-degree assault.
Okay.
So
you can't hold somebody out with a weapon. You can't hold somebody against their will.
Because pepper spray is technically considered a weapon in most states.
Right.
And she brandished it, so that there constitutes assault. Now, depending on circumstances, they may or may not charge her. If she's a little petite woman that, when they look at it and say, well, yeah, if you were trying to leave, you just steamroll over her.
But you've done nothing wrong.
Right. But when the thing that people have to remember is when it comes down to this, most of these legal statutes are what would a reasonable person do or think in that situation.
Right.
If it's enough of a fuss that maybe this is a kidnapping situation, maybe I haven't shot my dick off and it's a kidnapping situation.
Right.
There might be a case to try and detain someone with pepper spray, especially if you're a petite female. Now, do I think that's the best course for someone to take? No, okay. I think it'd be better if maybe someone who was a little bit more robust or intimidating step in there and not have to use pepper spray, because here's the problem with pepper spray. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
Even if you get the jet ones, I've messed around with pepper spray quite a bit. Yeah, you have the jet one, but it's not always accurate.
Right.
If you get the cloud one, well, a little breeze is going to blow that around.
Right.
So, pepper spray indoors in general is a bad idea. Now, if it's all
agree.
if it's all you have, it's all you have.
I get that. I think my problem here would be if there's, and I get the help and protect, but I think this is where the problem lies. We're not police officers.
Right.
We're
not district attorneys.
We're not, yeah. So when we see something, and they say, it is my kid, mind your own business, they're just throwing a tantrum, and they are throwing a tantrum, what recourse do you have to really stop someone from doing something when there's an explanation? Yeah, I am. This is my kid, and they're throwing a fit.
To me, I think it still falls under the whole idea of good citizen. You are waiting until someone of authority that can verify this information can actually come and verify it. Going to the whole thing with someone says, takes out pepper spray and says, no, stop, you're not leaving. Do I think that she would get arrested or charged with anything in that situation? Probably not, because there's a ruckus. There's plenty of people that have seen the ruckus. There could potentially be a question of, are you actually the parent or the guardian of this child at that time? I think there would be enough there. Now, again, I'm not saying if you're in this situation, do this. You have to make that decision on your own. But I would think that this is something that would fall under you're being a good citizen, you're looking out for the welfare of the child, and that's what it's going to be viewed as.
This is where I think we really learn a little bit about you and me here, because I'm always going to, I think my personality and what I go for is I'm going to err on the side of I don't want to really get involved too much. And you want,
I'm more the sheepdog.
You're more of a I'm going to protect.
Mm-hmm.
I have to protect people.
Right.
Wow, that's where our personalities, we agree and we see a lot of eye to eye on stuff, but we are really different there.
Right, and we learned this last time we did the what we do is you were a little bit more standoffish, until it got to that point where there was enough reason not to be standoffish.
Right.
Got to physical assault or someone actually being in danger.
Yeah. There has to be a line for me to cross that will cross at that point. So if I stopped one, that's my kid. Fine, call the police. Here's my license plate number. If you want to follow me out to the car to get my license plate number, I don't care.
Right.
Well, when someone says that, that means they're probably in the right.
Yeah. Unless they're a real savvy bad person.
You're right. And most bad people
aren't that savvy.
Most bad people are so stupid that they'll shoot their own dick off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will.
The reality is they're not that smart. So when you're looking at that, there are keys that you can pick up if you're going to play sheepdog. If you want to play that protector. If she says, fine, give me a call, you do this, or there's going to be something there.
And actually, you know what? I just came up with what I would do in that situation where a woman stops me with pepper spray and says, "You're not leaving." Okay, here, it's calling my ex-wife. Ask her. Because if anyone's going to tell the truth, it's going to be her. At least in that situation.
Yeah.
And then, knowing my ex-wife, she's probably going to bawl you out for bothering her and being stupid.
Yeah. Here's the thing is if you're a good parent, you probably look down at your kid and say, the police are going to come and they're going to throw a fit and we're going to be late. Mm-hmm. And every time we come to the store, you're never getting anything when we come to the store anymore. But Mom, well, there's your answer.
Yep.
There's ways that parents could coach that out of their kids that they know how to do that.
Now let me go back to yours where you're in the gas station, you pay for your stuff, you're leaving, and the woman pulls pepper spray on you and tells you, "You're not leaving, you've got a gun, I'm calling the police."
Yeah, see, and my issue is the police need probable cause before they could do a lot of stuff. I think the public should be held at that same standard too. I don't think I thought this was happening, so just because someone has a weapon doesn't necessarily mean, what if this guy was an off-duty cop?
Yeah.
What if, there's a lot of scenarios that what? I don't think that would have been the option to do. I think if you're going to stop someone because you see them with a gun and you think they're going to rob somewhere, you know what? Call the police.
Yeah.
Go outside, call the police.
And I'll say two things about this. One, if she does that and she pepper sprays me, I've been pepper sprayed. You've been pepper sprayed.
Right.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let that threat stop me from going about doing my legal business.
Right.
And if you do pepper spray me, oh God, am I going to have charges pressed on you. Part two of that, if you're in that situation where you're her, don't try and play hero because you think something might happen, because let's just say in that situation, I am a bad guy and I'm casing the joint and trying to figure out when the best time to do something like that would be.
Yep.
Now you pull pepper spray on me. I'm a bad person, so I'm already not rational. Good chance I may pull out that gun and shoot you. Right. You're putting yourself in a no-win situation.
Right. So I think if I were in that line and I watched someone at the door and they were blocking me, I would make sure I put some distance, because I know pepper spray has a distance. and I know my shooting distance is a lot further than that pepper spray.
A lot further. A lot faster, too.
This is knowing my situation. So I would move back away, and I would look at the person there that's there and says, hey, I just bought my stuff. I just want to go about my business. She's holding me against my will.
Mm-hmm.
That's unlawful detainment.
Which you can be sued for civilly.
Right. You need to tell her to move so I could leave, or show me where the back door is so I could leave, because I don't want to deal with crazy.
Right.
And then I would almost put it on the store owner. Technically it would be their responsibility to keep people somewhat.
It is, but it's also, you can't kind of protect from that before the fact.
Right.
You know, that's one of those things where...
If I was a store... Now put yourself in a store owner. What would you tell the lady at the door?
Bitch, please put it down.
Yeah. You need to leave my store right now. He didn't do anything wrong. If you don't leave, you're going to be trespassing.
You are no longer welcome here. You're persona non grata.
Yep.
Leave now, or I will have you trespassed.
Yep. Yeah. I think I would, the guy with the gun didn't show anything there.
No aggression, no nervous twitching, looking around. And...
Yeah, no, he bought his stuff. He was very polite. And here's the thing. My personality, if I was running a business like that, I don't want those signs on the door that says, no weapons allowed. Because if the bad guys don't listen to those.
Right.
Only the good guys do. And when you put that on there, and this guy's a good guy, and you don't have that sign there, well, if I'm getting robbed, I want this guy in the store because he might be able to save my life.
Would you rather me have to leave my firearm in my vehicle and go into your store, and it gets robbed, and there's no way to stop it, and maybe someone gets shot that's a good person?
Yep.
Or me come in with my firearm, we get robbed, and the robber potentially gets put down?
Put yourself in you're the owner. You have a choice of putting that sign up there that says no weapons allowed. The bad guys aren't going to listen.
Bad guys look for soft targets, and you're making yourself a soft target.
So now your wife or your daughter or your son are in there working, and
just an employee.
Yeah, I want it personal. I want to make this a little more personal for them. If you're that shop owner and you have your wife or your daughter or your son in there, and some guy goes in there to rob the place, and because they're not quick and they freeze up because they're scared, that robber shot someone, and there was a guy that was in the store that says, yeah, I normally carry, but I knew I was coming here and I didn't carry my gun because I know you guys don't like it here. You got to understand that. Make sure you understand that that guy that was lawfully carrying a firearm, that went through all the checks and went through all the background and went through all the training and everything that they had to do to get a concealed carry permit, that you no longer wanted them in your store, could have saved their life. I want you to really think about that and put your family in that situation, and you tell me if you're doing the right thing. Reflect on that.
Yeah. Now, can I think of situations where maybe you do want to have that sign up? Yeah, I can think of a couple, few and far between. If you are strictly a bar, you're not a restaurant and bar, you're not a bar and grill. If you're strictly a bar, people come there to order a drink. Yeah. Probably don't want people having guns in there. Right.
Now there are a few exceptions, and even at that, there are laws that say you have to, if you have a concealed carry permit, you have to know where you can carry and where you can't. And there's already things placed like that written in stipulation, which is bar areas of restaurants and things like that.
At least in our state, there are some states that don't have stipulations.
That's true. That's true. So,
but yeah, that's an area I wouldn't want. If I own a car dealership, I probably don't want people coming into the dealership with guns.
Why not?
Just because I don't.
So if I decide, hey, we're going to go swing by and look at a new car, and I was running errands and I had a firearm on me, what? Well, the reality is I don't want to sit in that car and then I bought this car, and then when I go to sit in it with my piece, that seat belt thing hits the gun just in the wrong spot. That's going to piss me off. I'd like to know that before I bought the car.
So, and looking in this situation, looking at employee safety, most, at least in our area, most car dealerships, it's not like when we were younger where it's, okay, here are the keys, go take it for a test drive. They're going with you.
Right.
Now you've got, if it's a bad person, you've got them isolated, somewhere remote, stuck in a car.
The guy's not going to listen if there's a sign anyway, right?
No.
If you're a bad guy,
yeah, you don't
who cares?
You don't read, but I can see financial institutions, banks, you don't want people taking guns into banks.
I disagree with that too.
Really?
I do disagree with that. I think if I had to go conduct... So, let's say this podcast made a shit ton of money.
Okay.
Okay? And we got sponsor deals and all kinds of stuff. And I load up a bag full of money that we made selling our wonderful attire and our t-shirts. And I have a bank bag of $10,000 and I got to go take that to the bank. Do you want me to do that unarmed?
Well, no, if you have that much, that's where you're looking for security. But here's the other counter to that.
So I'm going to sit out of my car and say, I'm going to wait for security. And say, what's that guy waiting for? Oh, he's waiting for the security guy to come. Oh, write that down. Watch that car. Next, he drops off $10,000 every Wednesday.
Yeah, but anymore, we don't live in a cash society, so we don't really have to worry about that situation.
I live in a cash society.
Well, no, you use cash in society. The society itself isn't a cash society anymore.
We still have a lot of cash. There's still a lot of cash that flows, and
there is, but not like cash flowed back in, say, the early 90s.
Well, so this is our podcast studio.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to the bank and pull money out of the bank and to pay the guy that was building this, and he wanted cash.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to go to the bank unarmed, pull a large amount of money out, and then
drive-through window. Don't have to go into the bank.
I hate drive-thrus.
Well, that's on you then.
No, so I have to change my activity because I want to carry a firearm.
See, and this is an odd conversation because normally I'm the one that's, yep, get the machine gun.
Right. I think law-abiding citizens should be able to carry a gun, period. I'm sorry that if they're...
Airport, do you think you should be able to carry in the airport?
Yes.
On the plane?
On the plane, I think that's a different scenario. Because that's a capsule firearm, it's a closed area. I don't think regular people should be able to carry firearms on a plane. It's a stressful situation. It's designed that way. Now, should they be able to carry in the airport? I don't see a problem in the airport, as long as you're not on that flying tube.
So even past security up to the gate.
Yeah. You can't go to the gate anymore. So if I was dropping Mikey
if you have
off,
a ticket, you can.
Well, that's true. But then you're getting on a plane, so that's a different story.
They've got lockers there. You could secure it in a locker.
Ooh, so I wouldn't use the
not the most secure lockers.
Yeah,
but...
I wouldn't recommend that. But if I was going to the airport and I was dropping, let's say Mikey or Rebecca were going to fly off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'll swing by home, pick you up, and I'm gonna walk you to the point of no return.
To the security checkpoint.
To the security point. Bye, love you. You're off. I'm leaving. What did I do?
Nothing.
I didn't commit any crime. I was conducting normal business. I didn't do anything. Why shouldn't a normal person be able to do that? Why should I have to take different steps I'm just doing normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a problem with that. Now, if I pull out the gun and I do something stupid, well then I'm charged with something.
Right.
And if you want to add some charges because this is a
kind of an enhancement charge because this was a restricted area.
Correct. Like you added as a secondary charge, I'm all for that. In fact, I would agree with that. But
so carry anywhere, if you pull it out in certain areas and do something stupid, you get an enhancement charge.
Right. I can see that. I could totally see that.
I think he probably pretty much convinced me on at places other than where there are going to be outside factors to cause you to do something stupid like a bar, which we've already covered several times. Don't drink and carry anyway. So
well, let's put it in perspective. You're leaving this house, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost pretty sure you have your firearm on you.
Yep.
Okay. So on your way out of here, you get a call, and it's your dad at the airport saying, "Hey, sorry I forgot to tell you, come pick me up. I need help." So now you're like, well, I'm not going to drive all the way home to drive back out where we're at here, because you're going to drive right by here to go to the airport.
Right.
So you're going to tell me you have to, oh, Michael, let me leave my gun here. Now you have all this stuff that you have to, well, now I can't go to the airport because I can't go help him carry his baggage. I have to go to the baggage, help grab his bags. I've got to do all this stuff. You're telling me that you have to go put your firearm away and you can't do any of that?
No, I'm going to tell him to call an Uber.
Well,
not really. But no,
I know better than that.
That's where you secure it in the vehicle. I mean, we've gone places where we got there and like, oops, can't do it here. Better secure it in the vehicle.
Right. My problem with securing a firearm in a vehicle, though, especially at the airport, break-ins at airports are a little bit more often.
Right, because it's typically long-term parking.
Correct. I don't want to... Okay, so you're getting out, you're in a hurry. So you get out, you walk around, you pull out your firearm, and you secure it in your vehicle. Mm-hmm. Someone happens to see that, and they walk in there, and as you're trying to get bags off there, some lady's like, "Yep, that's the guy that I saw him with a firearm in the parking lot."
Well, that's why I secured it in the vehicle before I get out of the vehicle.
You understand that not everybody does that, and sometimes if I'm going to have a safe and I put it in the trunk so I can secure it to the frame, I might have a safe back there. Maybe my glove compartment doesn't lock, so I actually have to get out and do that.
Right.
I hate to say it, but here, even sitting in next to your car, so you pull it out, and just as someone happens to be walking by and just happens to look in your window just as you're pulling out a firearm, and goes, "Oh shit!"
Public service announcement to everyone: when it comes to me, mind your own fucking business.
Now it's mind your own business. I think we ran long.
Yeah, we did. We're gonna wrap this one up. Any parting thoughts?
If you have more of this, because I know we're cutting it short here, or we're cutting it long here. If you want this conversation to continue, put it in the comments. We could continue this comment, and if we have enough people, maybe we could bring it up again.
And if you have a suggestion for a situation that you want to put us in, by all means, we'll take it. We'll start with your suggestion, probably build on it.
Yep.
But yeah, we are long. Everyone, stay safe out there. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time.
Yep. This concludes our broadcasting day.